Today we are starting the classes on statistical mechanics. First we will discuss what is the statistical mechanics, and then we will see the classical statistical mechanics, and then we will see quantum statistical mechanics. So first of all, let's see what is statistical mechanics. In nature, we know we encounter with many physical systems consisting of a very large number of particles or micro entities such as atoms, molecules, electrons, photons, etc. So particles can be anything like electrons, molecules, atoms, photons, etc. And we want to predict the properties of such systems, which consists of very large number of such particles, which is also called matter in bulk. Okay, we consider them as matter in bulk. So statistical mechanics is a formalism that tries to explain the physical properties of this matter in bulk. It's very large systems consisting of very large number of particles on the basis of the behavior of the micro constituents or micro entities of the system using probability theory. So we are using statistics, the probability theory, to predict the bulk properties, bulk physical properties of systems consisting of very large number of particles. So this is called the statistical mechanics. Mechanics means we are taking the dynamical behavior of the micro constituents. We are taking the dynamical behavior. So we say this is kind of mechanics, and since we are using probability theory, we say this is statistical mechanics. Okay, so this is the essential thing that we are going to do in every analysis using statistical mechanics. In statistical mechanics, we always talk in terms of macroscopic and microscopic states. Okay, macroscopic states and microscopic states. Suppose we have a system consisting of n number of identical particles which are confined to a space of volume V. Okay, and their total energy is E. Okay, so we consider a physical system which has capital N number of particles, and it is confined to a space of volume V, and the total energy is E. And actually, we always carry out the analysis in the thermodynamic limit. Okay, we do everything in the thermodynamic limit. Thermodynamic limit is n tends to infinity and volume tends to infinity. So we consider the system under the condition or under the situations where the number of particles is very large, tends to infinity, and volume occupied by these particles is also infinity. So this is called the thermodynamic limit. Now, the particles constituting the system, comprising the system, can be considered as non-interacting. They are not interacting with each other. So the total energy will be equal to the sum of the energies of the individual particles. So it is very easy to obtain the total energy of the system. We just simply add together the energies of individual particles, because the particles are not interacting with each other. So there is no interaction energy. So it is very easy to obtain the total energy. You just sum the energies of the individual particles. So that is written here. The total energy is sigma I Ni epsilon I. Okay, total energy is summation over all states. We have to say I is summation over all states, and Ni is the number of particles with the Ni in the state I with energy epsilon I. Okay, so essentially in quantum we actually use the quantum mechanics. The single particle energy, the energy of a single particle in a volume V, if you enclose a particle in a volume V, its energies are discrete. This is what the quantum mechanics is telling us. If you confine a particle in a volume V, its energies or the states that it can be are discrete, and it is given by epsilon I equal to this h square over 8m v to the power 2 by 3 nx square plus nx square plus ny square plus nz square, where this nx, ny, nz are the quantum numbers. Okay, it can take values 1, 2, 3, etc. And for large volume, the spacing of the energy, spacing of the different energy levels is so small. Actually, we are considering the system in a large volume. System is assumed to occupy a very large volume. So the energy levels will be continuous, because since V comes in the denominator, this itself will be very small. So the spacing between the energy levels will be very small. Okay, so this is the macro state, actually specifying the parameters, the number of particles, capital N, volume V, and the total energy. That is actually called the macro state of the system. So here E, the total energy of the system, that will be sum over I, Ni epsilon I, where Ni is the number of particles with energy epsilon I, and capital N is the sum over I, Ni, where Ni is the number of particles. So if you sum over all possible states, you get the total number of particles in the system. Okay, so the macro state of the system. So the specification of the actual values of the number of particles, the volume, and the energy actually defines a macro state of the given system. So specification of the actual values of the parameters, number of particles, volume, E, that actually defines macro state of a given system. So these are macroscopic parameters. We are not saying what is the individual energy. We are not saying what is the individual volume occupied by individual particle. We are actually talking in terms of the total volume, the total energy, the total number of particles. So these are macroscopic variables. And if we define the macroscopic variables, we say we are defining the macro state of the system. Now, what is microstate? Now, in general, there will be a large number of different ways in which given macrostate NVE can be realized. Okay, because the total energy is just sum of this. So even if this is fixed, this Ni can vary. Number of particles in each energy level or each state can vary. Still, as we sum, we will get the total energy fixed. Okay, so this Ni can be different. It can vary, and still we can get the total energy as constant. So there are actually the different ways. Okay, there are actually a large number of different ways in which the macro state of the system can be realized. Okay, because as I said earlier, the total energy actually consists of a simple sum of, okay, just a simple sum. So there will be large number of different ways in which the total energy of the system can be distributed among the n particles. Okay, Now each of these different states, each of these ways in which the total energy can be fixed, we can obtain a constant total energy. Each of these different states specifies a microstate or complex ion of the system. Microstate is also called complex ion of the system. Okay. So this is the idea about the microstate. So in microstate, we are actually specifying the states of the particles, how many particles are in a particular state. Okay, there are actually very large number of states possible for the particles, single particle. So we say in first state how many particles are there, in second state how many particles are there, in third state how many particles are there. Okay, and the condition is when you add or sum the energies of all the states, all the particles, you should get it as energy E. Okay, so it is actually there will be very large number of different ways this can be realized. Okay, the different number of N1, N2, N3, so that E is fixed. And each of these ways is actually a microstate of the system. Okay, now we see an example. Suppose we have a system where the single particle can have this states of energy 0, epsilon, 2 epsilon, 3 epsilon. 0, epsilon, 2 epsilon, 3 epsilon. And suppose we are specifying the macrostate. Macrostate is T, V, 3 epsilon, energy is 3 epsilon. Okay, energy is 3 epsilon. And suppose that we have two particles. So the macrostate for a two particle system is this: temperature fixed, volume fixed, and the number of particles fixed, and the energy is 3 epsilon. Okay, the total energy is 3 epsilon. So there are different ways in which this can be realized. Particle, there are two particles. One particle can be in this level, the second particle can be in 3 epsilon level. Another way is one particle in epsilon and another particle in 2 epsilon. So these are the two possible ways in which we have the total energy 3 epsilon. And if the particles are distinguishable, if we can label these particles, if they are distinguishable, we can actually interchange. This particle can be here and this particle can be here. This also can interchange. So totally there will be 4 microstates. Another example, we have 3 particles. The total energy is still 3 epsilon. Here this is one possible way of realizing it. Okay. One particle here and 2 particles here. The total energy 3 epsilon. One particle here, one particle here, one particle here. The total energy is 3 epsilon. All the particles in the single level epsilon, the total energy is 3 epsilon. And there can be exchange, there can be interchange of the particles if the particles are distinguishable. So totally there will be 3 ways corresponding to this, 6 ways corresponding to this, 1 way corresponding to this. So we have this 10 microstates. Okay, 10 microstates here. And in the case of 4 particles, okay, in the case of 4 particles, again, these are the possible ways. There are 4 particles, the total energy still should be 3 epsilon. So 4 ways of this, 12 ways of this, 4 ways of this, and totally 20